Let's get it. It's an absolutely wonderful day here in the Carolinas today, and I'm so glad to see it. I hope everyone is well, as always, and that you too are able to get out and enjoy this day. I am definitely feeling our workouts this week. Thank the Most High I'm able to get out here and get it in. I'm not complaining. Just putting it out there. And that lets us know it's not always gonna be peaches and cream. Oh boy. Oh, that was funny to me. It's not always gonna be nice and easy. But like I said, once it becomes a lifestyle, them old muscles know to get in line and do what you tell them to do. Somebody was in our spot today. So we're gonna take it on back here to the secondary spot and get our thought in. Which, as I was saying in a little short recording I did so I wouldn't lose my train of thought, the Most High has not let us get out of this vein of staying in our lane. So we're gonna stay in that vein, and or like I just said, stay in this lane of talking about staying in our lane. And it seems as if I have stepped in somebody's territory. Hey there. Hey there. I just killed a mosquito by accident. But I'm glad I got it. And like I said, most High willing, we're gonna stick to this same subject today. And what we're gonna speak about today is the idea of whose voice do you hear in your secret place? Whose voice do you hear in your secret place? And the question the Most High posed to me is, do you hear the Most High's voice or another? Just gonna let that sink in a second. Now I'm trying to get comfortable. Do you hear the Most High's voice or another while in your secret place with Him? Are you hearing the voice of someone who's listening only to his own voice and not the Most High's? Oh boy. The folks you let teach you should be saying the same as the voice you hear in your secret place, which is the Most High. And even if they're teaching you something new, they're not going to be telling you something that's not in His text. Because the Most High is not going to tell you something that's going to be outside of His holy word. The scripts He gave His prophets and writers to pen. But we got to be very careful who we let teach us. And I was writing in my notes how much division there is in Israel today, or Yasharel, and it's pretty much, if not more, than the church, or as the church has been over the years. We see all the different splits that they make about their different belief sets. And we know that they're not the Most High's chosen people. The ones that make the main decisions for the church and what's to be in the Word and what's not to be in the Holy Text, or canon as they say. But I don't think we should be having this same issue in Yasharel. I just don't. And what I'm seeing, it's not a point of doctrine or belief set. No, it's pride and ego. A lot of the differences I see can be pretty much worked out by the truth. It's none of this your truth, my truth, our truth, their truth. No, it's one truth, which is the Most High. He said in his text that he is the truth, the way, the life. And you can't get to the Father but by him. So you have to go through Yahushua HaMashiach, which is the truth, to get to the Father. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is through his Ruach HaKodesh, his spirit. Because he's not here physically these days to sit down with us and break bread and fish with us and break bread with us over his sayings or his truth, his belief, his righteousness, his way of doing things. So no, we have to go by what he said in his word. And see, as I wrote in my scriptures also, the only way we're going to know what we're allowing the people to teach us, the mores, the teachers, to know what they're saying is righteousness, is by what the text says. Try the Spirit by the Spirit. And the most important way is to study to show yourself approved. And I did have some notes I wanted to read over, but I think we should read over these scripts first. And it's Luke 8:18. Take heed therefore how you hear, for whosoever have, to him shall be given, and whosoever have not, from him shall be taken even that which he seemeth to have. Even that which he think he has or thought he had. I thought I was going to slide by without these glasses today. And I think I can, like the little train. I think I can. Uh-oh, I know I can. We're going to put a little more light on the subject, or should I say a little more focus. And that's a very good script. The Most High put that on my heart last when I was thinking about these notes that I had just written beforehand. And I'm going to read the notes since we put that script out there and I said what I said. I had this preacher who would always say to us, his congregation, to go back and study everything he preached, and if the numbers didn't add up, to come back to him with the correct math, in my own words. And one day I did just that. We, as the saying goes these days, chopped it up and couldn't come to a let's agree to disagree agreement. So we simply had to part ways. It's one thing not to know, but a totally different thing to refuse to know, or at least listen with an open heart, just off the other person's face value. When a preacher refuses to prayerfully read the book and answer the questions of his flock, something is wrong. And that's why I say be careful how you listen. And see, that's pretty much the gist of my whole idea today, and I think we're going to leave it at that. Because I don't want to overthink it. And I will read this. And it's Ephesians 4:3-12. endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. And the Most High gave us this script, I believe, on Monday, but he had me revisit it over in the morning. And like I said, it's Ephesians 4:3-12. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace, or shalom. There is one body, one ruach, or spirit, even as you are called in one hope of your calling. One master, or Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Elohim, and one Abba of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. And we did go over this script, I think on Monday or Tuesday, how we was breaking down how everybody is not the all that this script is talking about, or all people is not the all this script is talking about. We know that the all that this script is talking about is the people he was talking to, and that's his holy people. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Mashiach. Wherefore he said, when he ascended up on high, he led captivity captive, and gave gifts unto men. Now he that ascended, what is it, but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach. And we will go ahead and read over the other text, but we see there that in this script that Yahusha, who we spoke on before, who is the truth, he gave unto all of us, all of his people, gifts, or what should we say, offices or ministries. As we read over, some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, some pastors, and some teachers or mores. And this is for what? Edifying the body of Mashiach, perfecting the saints, for the work of the ministry. Now see, with all the bickering and going back and forth that we're seeing in Israel today, something is wrong. And this is my analysis of it, or my 2 cents. Either we have people that's not hearing from the Most High, which is the case, period, or they're not in the right office. Like I said, they're not hearing from the Most High. They made themselves, ooh, look at that big plane. They made themselves to be who they think they want to be. Like I was saying, stay in your own lane. Some people are trying to be evangelists, and they're just teachers or pastors, or should be teachers or pastors. Or should we say some people have made themselves to be apostles, and they should just be evangelists or teachers. But we're going to move on. I am going to read these next texts because I do think they lay a lot of weight to what this idea, to this idea today. And this is John 10:4-5. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Oh boy. That's worth reading again. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, when he sends out his sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger they will not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. Oh boy. And see, I'm so glad we kept on reading, because we needed to get this script in, because we see here, just like our main idea is, Yahusha is the truth. And he sends out his people to speak the truth and share the truth to the perfecting of the saints, or perfecting of the body, or the assembly, his children. However, there's strangers amongst us. Just like a fella say, all Israel ain't Israel, or all Yasharel ain't Yasharel. And just because you skin folk don't mean you kin folk. That's from Teo Ministries. And it's the truth. It's the truth. We have so many doctrines that's out there today in Israel or in Yasharel that's so sickening, because it's like you're presenting something just to oppose your brother, when neither one of them really matters. Well, they both matter. It does matter, but the whole point is get to the foundation of your point. The whole point, in my understanding, is pointing folks back to the Most High like Yahusha did. We have to start pointing folks back to the Most High, or to Yahusha, and therefore to the Most High, because he's the way. And see, the whole point about it is we have to walk the walk and talk the talk that he walked while he was on this earth. He said, follow me, right? And 1 Corinthians 3:18 says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. Oh boy. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise, that they are vain. Therefore let no man glory in men, for all things are yours. And see, I'm going to say this before we go on. This text says, if any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. And see, right there we see that just as we hear this idea of folks going to the cemetery school or seminary school, I heard a fella say that one time, and I always like to throw that jab in there every time I say it. They think they're more, developed in the things of the Most High than other folks that have not. But see, what they fail to realize is you don't learn from the Most High just by book work, especially the book work of men, especially the book work of them folks. Oh boy, especially you going to them for training when you should be going to the Most High for training. But we're going to carry on. But you see what the Most High thinks about it. It's vain. Whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas or the world or life or death or things present or things to come, all are yours. And ye are Mashiachs, and Christ is the Most High. And that's telling us we're all his. It don't make no difference what comes or what goes. We're all his, and we should all be pointing in the same direction towards him. And this is going to be 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. Let a man so account of us as of the ministers of Mashiach and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Let a man so account of us as the ministers of Mashiach and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. Moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. And basically what this is saying, let people see us as the ministers of Christ or Mashiach and stewards of the mysteries of the Most High. And stewards mean that you're taking care of what you've been given and handling it properly, that you may be found faithful. And see, that's what I was saying, I believe on last Thursday, about being, it may have been Monday, about being accountable. And that wasn't the exact word. Most High willing, we'll think about it as we go along today. What's that word? The other word for faithful and accountable. There it goes. Not credible. Credibility. Having credibility. Oh boy. And see, a lot of folks out here these days ain't got no credibility. Not at all. Not at all. And see, not blowing my own whistle, but as a person that knows the Most High's voice and seek Him daily, I can hear other folks that's not quite right. I can hear a brother or sister who's not quite a brother and sister, I should say. There's something not quite right with them. Just like I heard a fella say last evening, speaking about one of these fellas that's out there with the ego. It's all about him. It's not all about the Most High. Or it's all about her. It's not all about the Most High. And something I've noticed also, which this is a little off subject, and it's not exactly what I'm saying, you'll hear people speak of themselves in third person. Not saying that these people have, but that idea just came back to me because they have a big ego. They're all about themselves. They're trying to lift themselves up and not lift the Most High and Yahushua or Christ up. Like the text says, if we lift him up, in my own words, then he'll draw all men to him, not to us. See, that's where our foolish people get twisted every time. Every time they want the spotlight. They want to be the one. Let me be the one. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you be the one. Do your thing, folks. But we're going to get going. I just had to come and share this today. And I was very excited about this thought today because, like I said, it's staying right there in the vein of the idea the Most High has been giving us all week, and that's stay in your lane. Whose voice do you hear in your secret place? Your time out. Your place when you go to the Most High. And who are you sitting under? Like my mom asked me. Like my mother asked me when I first started sharing my belief of this Hebrew walk, of my identity as a Hebrew. She said, who are you sitting up under? And see, I just told her the Most High told me that he wanted me to go to the Holy Ghost school, the Holy Ghost University. And see, part of that going to his university, or the Ruach HaKodesh University now, he wanted me to cut off all other teachers and preachers. So I went on I pretty much say over a year where I wasn't listening to anybody, no teachers. I was just fasting and praying and listening to the Most High's voice and being taught by him. and being taught of him. And this totally changed my whole life. It totally changed my relationship with him. But we have to do that more often than not. Even with the people we look up to and we are sitting under, we have to keep them or hold their feet to the fire as what they're teaching us. And this is, like I said, we gotta study to show ourselves approved and take that time, like the Most High told me to go to his university, his school. I had to learn how to set myself apart to learn his voice. I had to sit down and start distinguishing what I was listening, who I was listening to, and who I was hearing. Like the text said, be careful how you hear. Because that what you think you know, you don't know nothing. And all of that's going to be taken away from you, just like it was taken away from me. See, I've been walking with the Most High pretty much my whole life. Back and forth, in and out the door. You know how it goes, just like the saying goes, come in or stay out. We heard that a million times as children because we was in the country and we played outdoors. And once they had that house cool, after we went out, they wanted to keep it cool. And they didn't want the flies in the house. See, that was a biggie too. Flies, not much so as mosquitoes, but flies. And they like, you gonna stay in or out? And see, that becomes a point with the Most High. He's like, you gonna either stay in or you gonna stay out. And when he put you out, you gotta learn them lessons. And when he put you in the school of thought for lessons to be learned, oh boy, you're gonna learn them lessons. And they're not always polite, to say the least. So he's not a polite Elohim. He's a very loving Father, and he loves us. That's why he allows us to go through stuff. But we need to kill this division in Israel. And I think on the most part it comes by the people. It comes by us folks who's sitting under these folks that's not holding them accountable to the words they're teaching. It's fine to question folks. You better question folks if you sitting under them. Just like myself, I ask questions. What do you mean by this? And if I'm not asking you questions, then you can best believe I'm in agreement with you. But see, I'm the type of individual, especially these days where we have this online thing going, where you can sit up under an individual or be taught by an individual online. You don't have to physically go to them. So you can sit back in the background, you don't have to show your face and just listen and judge the fruit. And see, that's what I do now. I make it a point to sit back and listen to folks. And I've noticed that on a couple of different platforms that I've been on, the Most High started pulling me away from it. Because I would post my recordings on a bunch of different platforms, and now the Most High is having me to pull away from it. And a lot of it is because I don't agree. And I can't even say that I don't agree, it's just the Most High don't agree with what they're putting out now, I guess you would say. But he had me backing off one of these individuals that's out there right now that folks are talking about. He had me to back off from them and their platform. And I said, okay, no problem. It was just something that I couldn't put my finger on at the time. I was like, I'm not really feeling listening to them no more. And it's the switcheroo. Pardon me. Just like Dwayne Harris says, Dwayne Harris says, I don't trust nobody. And I'm gonna watch you. and I'm going to monitor my relationships. And see, that's what we have to do. We monitor our relationships according to the Most High's voice, or Ruach within us, and are studying the text. And family, once again, this is Brother Yehudi Yah, Get Right. And I'm going to play this song till the wheels fall off it, because the Most High has really stamped this song in my spirit right now. Because we need to get right. And I'm going to keep on rolling with it until he say, play the next one. Play the next one. But sometimes, you know, certain songs just stick with you for a season. And this needs to be our anthem as Yasharel. Get right. Okay, let's get it.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
No time to play games, no Nintendo. I keep it real in the truth, no pretendo. You get the real thing, ain't no demo. We setting up shop in the ghetto. Pull a bruise out the slums. Here we go. This that straight talk, no echo. We do law, statute commandments. Hello. Got me strumming like a banjo. Got me sitting, I was once sitting low. Had to repent for them sins I once sold. Now cry a lot of spare, now I let it show. The rule I hit you, how you like, whoa. All in these scripts, so these verses I throw, it's straight narrow, and they ain't letting go. By my Father biz, man, it's something you need to know. On with the word at my ammo, jumping, stumbling blocks, ain't stubbing my toe.
Praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
Trusting in the Father, everything I do. Been washed clean, I gotta stay true. Woolly hair rockin', I'm a Hebrew. Quorum Yasharel, yeah, that my crew. Elevated couple levels, spiritually I done grew. Had to lead the world, I guess I'm acting brand new. Prayer line to the heaven, know you who'll get me through. Faith in the Mashiach, another breakthrough. True Umunah, man, ain't no miscue. Sold out to the Abba, to my people, Yahoo. Bible study poppin', all these scriptures run through. Psalms 19 and 9, the word and the truth. It's about salvation, the Father got our back, no matter what we facing. They can quit tracing, ain't no replacing. Go and find your hood, and it's so amazing. Fruits of the Spirit I'm embracing. All esteem to the Most I'm praising. Kahalal, my arms raising.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right. We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. Soul searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the corner, that's my plight. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flight. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
No time to play games, no Nintendo. I keep it real in the truth, no pretendo. You get the real thing, ain't no demo. We setting up shop in the ghetto. Pull a bruise out the slums. Here we go. This that straight talk, no echo. go. We do law, statute, commandments. Hello. Got me strumming like a banjo. Got me sitting high with one sitting low.
Get right. Yes, I love that song. Yeah, I don't say that about a whole lot of songs.
Narrow, and they ain't letting go. By my father biz, man, it's something you need to know. On with the word and my ammo. Jumping, stumbling blocks, ain't stubbing my toe.
Praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. So searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the country, that's my plan. World full of darkness, I'ma glow light. 11:59, time to catch flies. We praying and we praying, trying to get right.
Trusting in the Father, everything I do. Been washed clean, I gotta stay true. Woolly hair rocking, I'm a Hebrew. Quam Yasharah, yeah, I'm a crew. Elevated couple levels, spiritually I done grew. Had to lead the world, I guess I'm acting brand new. Prayer line to the heaven, know you who'll get me through. Faith in the Mashiach, another breakthrough. True Umunah, man, ain't no miscue. Sold out to the Abba, to my people, Yahoo. Bible study poppin', all these scriptures run through. Psalms 19 and 9, the word and the truth. It's about salvation, the Father got our back, no matter what we facing. They can quit tracing, ain't no replacing. Go and find your hood, and it's so amazing. Fruits of the Spirit I'm embracing. All esteem to the Most I'm praising. Kahalal, my arms raising.
We praying and we praying, trying to get right. All esteem to you who shine my light. So searching through the scripture, find my birthright. Vengeance is the Father, ain't gotta fight. Return to the country, that's my plan. World full of darkness.
Well, most high willing, we're gonna jump on this bike, get us 5 or more in, then we're gonna take it to the house. Stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom.